AITA for not wanting to take our niece on vacation in 2022? My husband and I do not have kids, but many nieces, nephews. A number of years ago, when we were late 20s and finally financially secure, our oldest niece was in senior year of HS and we decided to take her on a beach vacation for a week. This has since become a tradition where we take the nibbling on a vacation during their senior year. Since this began, there has always been one nibbling each year. Then in 2020 to 2023 there are no nibblings graduating HS. So we won't be taking one on vacation until 2024. We've always made it clear it's a senior trip, and not us just working our way through them. We intentionally want to do it this ways, as we do not want to travel with younger teenagers, children. They are 17/18ths when we take them, which means we can give them their own room. We keep a key, and do adjoining rooms, but that gives all of us privacy. They can do more excursions, and we can meet them for breakfast, or leave them unsupervised if we want to get a drink, snack. We don't need to actively monitor them by water. And it's so much easier to airport travel with 17/18ths. A couple weeks ago our Sil said Jess was looking forward to planning her trip with us. Jess is next in line, currently in grade 9. Husband said she's rather eager since her trip is 2024. But so great she's excited. Sil gave us death glares and I asked if we had mis-aged her and Sil said no. Jess is grade 9 but assumed she would be going in 2022 since she's next in line. Sil had ordered her travel books to help her plan, which we found odd, as we involve the nibbling in the planning but we give them limited choices. They don't get a carte blanche. We usually give them a choice of 3 locations. Then from there a choice of resort. We told her that the trip is for senior year, so she needs to wait until 2024. Sil was angry, and Jess has had a hard time with pandemic, so we offered to fly her out to visit us for a week. We live in a major city, for a change of scenery, but the major trip isn't until 2024. Sil is furious. Jess is disappointed but seems to get it. The older nibblings are on our side and said it was a fun thing for them in senior year, while other adults are conflicted, with some thinking we should just go through the list, taking one nibbling a year, regardless of age. We are not parents, so maybe we aren't as empathetic as we should be, so are we the assholes for wanting to wait until our nibblings are in senior year to take them on vacation? Edit. Nibbling equals gender-neutral term for niece, nephew. Did not realize it was weird until now. Edit. The first child we did this for was Jess' older half-sister. Their biological dad, husband's brother, was widowed and had our oldest niece. Then remarried to Jess' mother and had Jess and 2 more kids. This might be a factor in Sil's reaction. I have no idea. Edit. We have talked to Jess directly. She is not upset. She was disappointed that her big trip wasn't next year but understood the purpose of the trip. We've given her some location ideas as her mother had suggestions that are the opposite side of the world. It sounds like you made it pretty clear that it's a senior trip. NTA. And how entitled is Sil thinking she gets to complain about when you're taking her kid on an all expenses paid vacation? NTA. One suggestion though, if part of things is to give her something to look forward to, explain more why you want to wait until senior year. The independence aspect. Then go ahead and pick the 3 places, and tell her she can start researching them to know which one she'd like to explore in 2024. Since she would be old enough to go off on her own and do whatever she wants then. You can also say how some of those things she wouldn't get to do if she went sooner because you'd be more responsible for her. That she will have a better trip this way. I think just the researching and fantasizing about the trip will distract from current times and cheer her up some. And tell her it will keep being something to look forward to through the rest of high school. NTA It sounds like these parents need to be on the choosing beggar sub. It's incredibly generous of you to do this and should be appreciated by everyone. It sounds like all the kids appreciate it and understand. But the parents are less mature. They made the mistake of telling the kid their trip is next year and expect you to fix that mistake. It's your gift and your choice when the gift happens. NTA Your trip, your rules. Your SIL shouldn't be horning in on the planning. Not an asshole. You have made it clean that it is a senior trip. Your SIL is the asshole. NTA I think what you guys are doing for your nibblings is so beyond generous and so amazing. SIL is a asshole for telling her child otherwise. You have made it clear from the start. She didn't even talk to you about it first, she just bought travel books and is telling her child to pick a place? That's entitlement. I would tell her to stop, or you're just going to stop the tradition. If anyone ruins it, it's going to be her. NTA. Your SIL has no right to get mad when this is an established tradition, one with which she has no financial input. Getting brochures for Jess and hyping her up was a mistake. Your offer to fly Jess out for a break was more than generous. Try and have a private word with your SIL once she's cooled off to reaffirm that the trips are senior grad trips and nothing else. And maybe ask if she's willing to chip in this time, since she seems so eager to spend your money. NTA, if this is the way you have done it with the rest of the nibblings, then that's the way it should be done. Is Jess the first of her siblings to go? Definitely NTA. You need to be clear with SIL and Bill just to make sure message doesn't get twisted. First, absolutely NTA. Second, where do the adults in your family get off telling you how to conduct your gift trips? With your nibblings? Talk about entitled Oz. Your gift, your rules, your call. Period. You don't have to take her in the first place. This is a privilege, not a right. SIL better be grateful. NTA. NTA, pretty cool arrangement you have. SIL seems to not understand the conditions regarding this trip and deviates from the usual process. I'm sure she's just trying to cheer her daughter up. But she should have checked with you guys before getting her all excited. Luckily, the kid understands. That's most important. And she'll have something to look forward to. SIL should back off and apologize to her daughter by saying she made a mistake by getting her excited and now disappointed, and that she should have checked first. She won't even have to lose face doing that, because her motivation was out of love for her child. That felt COVID miserable. All she wanted is to make her happier, which I understand and can sympathize with. But no worries. NTA, you're just a GAAU, great aunt and uncle. NTA. I'm a parent of 4 kids and would have loved for a relative to do something like that. You SIL is totally in the wrong. You've made it clear from the beginning that it is a senior trip. The kid seems to understand. It's the mom making it an issue. I wouldn't have even offered to fly her out for a week. She can wait her turn. Or not go. You've been more than generous. NTA. You've been very clear, and with very rational, understandable reasoning underpinning it, about this being a senior year trip. That is the expectation, and the long-standing precedent, and you've never indicated it would be done any differently. So there is no reason for SIL to expect, much less demand, for it to be otherwise. Other than SIL bafflingly trying to stir your generous pot? but to avoid the nibbling getting caught up in whatever weird power play, rebranding thing Sil is trying to do. I would be sure to clearly, explicitly brand this trip as the senior year trip in all discussions going forward. That you love her and all your nibblings. You're really, truly looking forward to a senior year trip in 2024 with her. And can't wait to give her some great options for her senior year trip, but that her senior year trip can't and won't occur until she is, in fact, a senior. NTA. Start shrugging. Shrugging is underrated. But why can't you take Jess now and then in her senior year? Take her somewhere else? Shrug. But 2024 is so far away and we want our unentitled family benefits before that. Shrug. I don't like ketchup. Do not shrug. Re-evaluate your relationship with this person. NTA. But your sister is. She knew you do this as a senior trip and still got Jess all hyped about it in grade 9. That is a cruel thing to do to a child. I'm glad Jess understands, but maybe speak to her directly once and make sure she knows that you don't love her any less than your other nibblings, and she will definitely get a trip when she's a senior. You sister needs to apologize to Jess. NTA. Your Sil is ridiculous and manipulative to get the girls' hopes up. Imagine the wedge it would create if you suddenly changed the rules for Jess when all her older cousins had to wait until senior year. NTA. Don't change the rules now for an entitled Sil. NTA. Your Sil is being super weird about this. NTA. It's 100% okay to say it's a special senior trip and the nibblings will just have to wait until it's their senior year. Sounds like Sil was just hoping for a break from her young teenager because it's probably been a lot of together time with the pandemic.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.